Everybody. So in this video, real quick, couple of terms that are going to be important for the heart and the cardiovascular system that you should be aware of. And the first one here is auscultation. And in this case, this is just the act of listening to the heart. So this is where you listen to hear the different sounds the heart might make. And the reason for that is, for example, the next vocab term, murmurs. So a murmur is an example of a sound you might hear when you're listening to the heart, where you hear some sort of like turbulence in there because the blood flow is not smooth. Um, or so, with that said, you may hear instead of just hearing the blood continue moving then stopping, you might hear that blood kind of sounds like it's still flowing in between heartbeats. And that's because if you are looking, here's my little picture of a blood vessel. Here's another picture of a blood vessel. There's valves, and if your valve closes, blood cannot go backwards. However, if your valve stays open and blood goes backward when it's not supposed to, it's going to make a swishing sound. So that's an example of why we want to listen to the heart, because you can hear different things that are going on that you may or may not want to hear. So what are some things that might damage these valves? So stenosis is when you incompletely open the valve, so it's not able to completely open. So it closes fine, but when the valve is supposed to open, it's not fully opening, and that can change the sound that you're listening to. And then insufficiency is the opposite. Now it's not completely closing. So now you may have the blood go backwards when it's not supposed to go backwards. So it's a couple reasons why you may hear murmurs. So that's just one couple examples of some terms we should keep in mind. Now, what are some factors that affect heart rate? So, just jumping into it, the ions. Ions are really important. And if you remember from last semester, we talked about the nervous system and how different ions had very significant roles in action potentials. A few ions that are extremely important for the heartbeat, are going to be potassium, sodium, and calcium, right? You've seen these ones before. So let's talk about what they do. If you have like an increase in potassium, you have too much potassium, you're going to see a decrease in heart rate. Same thing with sodium. If you have an increase in sodium, you're also going to have a decrease in heart rate. And this can affect your heart and potentially put you into cardiac arrest. Calcium is the opposite. You have too much calcium, you may have too many beats and therefore still put you into cardiac arrest. So your heart rate may go too high and it may put you into cardiac arrest. Right? So the amount of ions that you have in your heart do matter. On the opposite end of that, potassium, if you have too little potassium, we're going to see an increase in heart rate, which can create arrhythmias. So now your heart is going to beat in an inconsistent pattern, and that can, again, put your heart out of whack and cause some serious issues. Fibrillation, if you have too low sodium, it can increase your heart rate and put you into fibrillation. Right, so now your heart is not able to squeeze fully, and your heart is, because it's not fully squeezing, it's squeezing too quickly, and you don't have the ability to fully squeeze enough blood out of the heart to move through the body. So just imagine taking your hand, opening it, and closing it fully. So fully open and fully close your hand. Do that a couple times, and now go faster, and now go faster, and go as fast as you possibly can, and you may notice that you're not fully closing your hand anymore. That's what's happening in your heart. If you can't fully close your hand, it's the same thing as not being able to fully squeeze your heart. And so therefore, it's not adequately doing its job. It's not squeezing the blood around the body. And then lastly, calcium. If you do not have enough, you may see a decrease in heart rate. So other factors that can affect your heart rate, there's a few. Some of the big ones are temperature. So if you have an increase in temperature, your heart rate should go up. All right, and that's your body's way of trying to circulate blood to your blood vessels that are on the most superficial blood vessels, such as on your, you may notice when you're working out, maybe that your arms or your legs, the blood vessels get bigger. right? The reason for that is because you're sending more blood to the superficial tissues, the ones closest to the outside of the body, so that they can cool down, right? So the air around you and the environment will try to cool that down. So you increase heart rate in an attempt to cool down the air. I'm sorry, to cool down the blood using the air on the outside of the body. Based on sex or gender, you may see this in general. Females typically have a slightly higher heart rate than males. And then your emotions. So if you have fear, so fight or flight, or if you get angry, your body will produce epinephrine. And again, that hormone will increase your heart rate. And then things that, kind of do the opposite, something that may make you feel sad or down, might decrease your heart rate. Right. So these are some examples of different factors that can affect your heart rate. So at this time, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. We're going to move into the part C of the slides.